I want to introduce you to how you're going to find your schools or educational organizations to work with. So by the end of week 4, you will know how to locate opportunities with educational organizations. Completing these modules will guarantee your visibility with organizations. So the first thing that I want to talk about, module 1, I want to talk about the importance of attending conferences. You want to make sure that you identify conferences where your key decision makers are going to be present. It's one thing to share with other teachers your ideas that you want to bring inside of schools and things of that nature, but you really want to talk to the key decision makers who can ultimately sign off on you coming in with your program and with your resources. Okay, so when I say key decision makers, I'm referring to your superintendents, assistant superintendents, people on that district leadership team, those people who can make suggestions and actually bring you into the organization. All right, now once you identify these particular conferences, you want to make sure that you go ahead and reserve your booth to be a vendor. The reason why you want to reserve your booth is because a lot of people know, especially vendors, a lot of vendors know that once you get in front of the decision makers, the deal is almost done. If they see your product is high quality and you schedule your follow-up, guys, you can secure many of your opportunities at these conferences, but you have to show up and you have to actually be present. Okay, so with reserving your vendor's booth, I also want to be specific in letting you know you will need to reserve your other accommodations, such as your hotel, such as your rental car, transportation, however it is that you're going to get there. Because what I typically find out is if you do not do these things all at the same time, guys, you face the risk of being put at an overflow hotel or not having access to certain resources because you register late. So here's the deal, guys. Make sure when you reserve your vendor's booth that you go ahead and make your accommodations for you and your team if you're taking a staff with you, okay? Very important. One of the reasons why I like being at the actual location of where the event is being hosted at is because it's easy transportation. You're going to have to be there before and after the conference starts for setup. So you want to make sure that you are in a location where you can have easy access to the conference location. Being at an overflow hotel may put you at a disadvantage because of the distance. So you want to make sure that you try to simplify the process. Go ahead, register for the conference, get your vendor credentials, and then also go ahead and secure your accommodations for your hotel, transportation for you and for your staff. All right. Now, another thing that you're going to want to do for the conference, prepare your literature. Make sure this is your time to shine. Okay. You're going to have a display that you need to fill. So make sure that you have your catalogs and brochures available, and make sure that you do the research, see how many attendees are expected to come so that you have enough literature with you to accommodate the attendees. Okay, so make sure that you get your brochures and all of your catalogs produced in a timely manner to have to take to the conference with you. One of the things that I will say, when I attend conferences, I like to take my material with me just so I don't have to worry about anything getting held up with shipping. Sometimes people ship their literature to the hotel or wherever the conference location is. I always suggest take everything with you. Okay, so if you have to pay extra, if you're flying on a plane, you have to pay extra to have additional carry-on luggage or what boxes. I would do that as a safeguard to making sure that you are prepared for the actual conference. Sometimes we know things happen with shipping, so you don't want to be delayed. Make sure that you have your literature with you, and make sure that your offerings are displayed appropriately. Okay, so if you also have access to the internet and you have a web page that you can show when you're at your conference, you want to make sure that you stage your space appropriately so that they can actually see what it is that's going on your monitor. Make sure that you have it on awake mode so that it doesn't go to sleep and that you have to keep tapping on the computer. Just make sure that your display is very nice. Make sure that you have your tablecloths, your backdrops. Everything should be branded at this conference when you go, because this is going to be your entrance to organizations. When they see how you have your display set up, they're already making an opinion about you just based on the appearance and based on your display, okay? Now, another major part of the conference, you're going to have so many people come to your booth. You want to collect their contact information because these are your qualified leads. If people are at these conferences, they are qualified leads if you know for a fact that this is where the decision makers are. And again, when I say decision makers, I'm specifically speaking on your superintendents, assistant superintendents, district leadership who can make and influence the decisions to bring an organization like you in with your resources. All right, one thing that I would like to show you all, these are a list of the conferences that I like. I have attended majority of these. All right, NABSE is one of my favorite, the National Association of Black School Educators. TABSE, the Texas Association of Black School Educators. Now, I want to be clear. Although I am African American, anyone can attend these conferences as a vendor. So please don't let the name deter you. If you are a person of non-minority and you have your educational consulting firm and your services, you can attend these events as a vendor and still promote the resources that you have available for school districts, okay? So please don't be deterred by the conference name. These are still wonderful conferences to attend, and these conferences specifically are geared towards resources for districts that have minority population or teachers who are minority teachers, and they are looking for resources of working with students. So don't be deterred off of those names. Innovative School Summit is a nice conference to attend. HGSE, U Cubed, NEA Black Caucus. ASCD is where you're going to go. They have an annual conference. This is where all of your district leadership, superintendents, curriculum developers, this is the conference that they attend. ASCD is where you want to go if you want to be in front of key decision makers across the country, okay? ISTE, the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, National Councils of Teachers of English, okay? So again, make sure that you research different conferences to attend. These are just my top 10 conferences that I like to attend as an educator as well. But these are conferences that you can get in front of decision makers and actually begin to collect your leads so that you may follow up